The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. For the best in below-the-waist grooming, check out manscaped.com. Use the promo code NNF for 20% off your purchase. That's manscaped.com.
Welcome to the No New Friends podcast, the podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. Join Scott, Mary, Chris, and Sarah as they discuss adulting topics that may not be suitable for little ears. Unless you are a small adult like Chris. And then it's fine.
We've kind of talked about this before. I don't have stage fright peeing anywhere except for a pool. Like that, I have a little bit of stage fright there. But why is that funny?
Why is that a thing for you? Why would you have stage fright peeing at a pool?
No,
because
in a pool.
Then you have to, in a pool. Like I don't stand and pee in the pool. It's like if you're in the pool,
you shouldn't be. Like I don't want to have to in their pool.
You've urinated in a pool before?
All the time. What's wrong with this?
Are you serious?
What?
Yes, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's a lot
That's
wrong
why it's
with
chlorinated.
That. No.
That's why it's chlorinated.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's fine?
Yes, I'm serious.
No, it's not.
Fine.
It's not.
But I don't want to get out and have to dry off and then go inside and all that.
Wait,
Kids
this is
pee in
interesting.
pools all the time. That's literally why it's chlorinated.
Really?
It's for the urine.
No, it's not.
Yes.
That's not why it's chlorinated, Scott.
Why is it chlorinated then?
Because
why is there disinfectant in the water?
Because it's outside.
And now it's time for the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, Chris, and Sarah.
Come on, at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
That's right. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number 1 by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. If you'd like to connect with us on all of our social media, just check out our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits. That's our Patreon. For as low as $2 a month, you can watch as we record these things live. Check out our really sweet merchandise. Check out our sponsors tab so that you can save some money on different things that you're already using, like BarkBox or Fiverr or Manscaped. All those fun things right there on our website. My name is Scott. I am the host. With me, my co-hosts. I'm an architect for her pain. The queen of summer bods, Mary.
Mary.
She's everybody's favorite food truck critic, Sarah.
Hello.
Our producer, Alex.
Hey, how we doing?
And finally, Andre the Giant called. He wants his unitard back. Our scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
Real lighthearted quote tonight, so here goes. Well, now your sister is dead, and I know you miss her, and I know it was an accident, and I know you're in pain, and I wish I could take that away from you. I wish I could shield you from the knowledge that you did what you did, but your sister is dead. She's gone forever.
Scott's 7th birthday party. Oh, sorry.
I don't know that. Mary, do you know this one?
No, I do not.
Schindler's List.
Why would you guess that?
I don't know.
There's no
Sarah,
birthday parties in there.
Do you have a guess at all?
No idea.
All right, Chris, what is it?
So Emily hasn't been home these last couple days, so I've been able to watch horror movies for the first time in a long time. That one was from Hereditary.
Wow. Yeah, that's on the top of all of our lists. What year did that come out in?
2018.
Yeah.
A24.
Great year. That's a great year.
Figured we'd start off the episode with something light. So,
yeah. It's the only thing light in your life right now.
My list of vegetables I've eaten this week has been pretty light, Scott.
I find it really funny, Scott, that you're the one. You would chip a cheese stick every 36 seconds.
Hey, cheese sticks are good for you, okay? That's
Says
dairy.
Who?
I know with all your
big
allergies,
dairy.
you can't do the dairy.
Wisconsin?
Yeah, big dairy.
Is that who tells you
T.G.
that?
Lee
Yeah.
said so.
No, that's...
Anyway, so speaking of health and all that, Mary, do you have a period tracking app?
Okay, so I wish I could say I used to. I know this may come as a shock to all of you that I did not get rid of my period tracking app when I no longer had a period about 6 years ago. So sometimes I'll still get like the little notification that's like AF, which means Aunt Flo.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't had a period in a very long time. I had an ablation like a uterine ablation, like a long, long time ago. And then I had a total hysterectomy. Like I don't have any of the body parts anymore, but I still have the app that tells me that maybe I should have a period. Also, I have an app for both of my daughters that do have periods, just so I know when to prepare.
Are the apps synced up?
No, but here's the problem is I have an app for when it should, like when I thought it was going to happen and when like my calendar's like, oh yeah, this is like every 28 days-ish. The thing about younger ladies is that it's pretty irregular. So it means nothing at this point. Nothing.
Right. It's just a waste of data on your phone.
Right. So I just know every, couple of weeks I got to buy some more products. I need to stock the menstruation station that I have for them. I have gadgets and gizmos aplenty for them. I've got who's its and what's its galore.
Just shop at wholesale and just, have it stock. You don't have to go every month.
Do that. You can't do that.
Stock up.
No.
Is it going to go bad? Is there an expiration date on pads?
They change what they like.
They're kids. You tell them what they like.
No, you don't.
Doesn't work like that.
Would be it would be so very cool in the words of Grace and Reedy if it did. It'd be so very cool.
Okay.
No, it does not work that way. And I want them to not be upset and frustrated even more than you have to be when it's that time of the month. Not that you would know.
Gotcha.
I want them to be as comfortable and as happy as possible. You want this kind of this? Sure. No problem. Let me make all of your dreams come true because I remember that.
Gotcha.
And I remember my mom like coming in a pinch, bringing me some chocolate chip Pop-Tarts when I needed it most. I was a Pearl girl back in the day. Sarah knows what I'm talking about.
I do.
My daughters are not. They like that bougie stuff. Like of course, we don't talk.
Wait, there's bougie. There's bougie.
Oh, yes, there are.
Absolutely.
First of all, the word cardboard doesn't even happen in our household. I would not do that to my children.
Well, and if you needed that, you could just go to like any restaurant right now and just ask for a bunch of straws because that's the same type applicator.
I would never.
The paper straws.
Would never. Gentlemen, anybody listening out there, if your wife sends you to the store for tampons, never, ever, ever, ever buy a cardboard applicator. You should get an OB, like a self-applicator, before that. That's all I'm saying. I would rather shove a wad of tissue in my lady bits before I used a cardboard.
So what we've learned is do not use cardboard for tampon applicators or soda drinking straws.
Nobody said anything about straws.
Got it. Heard. I did.
Are you saying
Sarah,
applicators for straws now? Scott, I knew you were into some weird stuff,
plastic
but
straws.
I didn't know that's how far it went.
Plastic straws.
Like I'm not here to yuck your yum, all right? But like my dude.
Moving on. Sarah, do you have or did you have the tracking app?
Yeah, I pay for it actually.
What?
Yeah.
You pay for it?
Yeah.
Is that so you don't get like the game ads or is it like there's actual paid
there's
apps?
A game with it, Scott. It's called having sex. I don't know if you know that game. It's not one you haven't won that recently or started it at all.
No. Chris, do you know if Emily has one of these apps?
Yeah, yes. Well, it's built into the iPhone now.
Okay. So I also have the period tracking app.
Wait, okay.
On my cell phone.
What?
Yes.
Scott, know how we like talk about how you wear a fedora and you hang out at parks and stuff and you're like, stop, you're going to make me sound creepy. You just did it yourself. Why do you why? Who, what, when, where, why?
Wait, Scott, before the explanation, I got to cut the comedy real quick. Before the explanation, I know it's 2023. I know you can identify as whatever gender you want, but Scott, if you are bleeding, you should see a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't,
and not me.
I do not. Yeah,
not me.
I don't think that is healthy.
Okay, look, it's not for the menstruation, okay? That's not what I'm tracking, okay? But I do use the period tracking app. I use My Days, which if I want to pay, then I skip the ads. I get ads in between. Yes.
Why is it called My Days?
I don't know. That's just the name of the app. You can look at it, Apple Store, the Android Marketplace. It's called My Days. It's got it looks like the the birth control pills.
Is it meant for women though, or is it meant for husbands tracking their wives' periods?
There are no apps for husbands to track their wives.
I feel like that's a business opportunity for you, sir.
I agree. That's a really good idea.
Good
So
for you.
let me
Happy to help.
explain why I got it initially. I got it initially because, when Rachel and I first started dating, I was like, oh, look, babe, look how much sex we're having. And, it was filled up with the blue hearts and all that. Well, now I'm like, hey, babe, look how much sex we're having. And it's, maybe one blue heart or blank.
I wish I could joke about this, but there's been a time or two where I've been like, Scott, how many blue hearts? How's it going? How's life? And he's like, look. And I'm like, maybe you should be nicer to your wife. I don't know. Cook her a overcooked
and maybe not
salmon.
track how much sex you're
I don't
having.
know. Yeah, maybe that
You
too. Put in a salmon.
So
Get in a standoff with somebody at Publix in the produce section.
well, that's the thing is I thought that salmon was going to be brought to you by Blue Heart, and it was not. It was brought to you by Blue Ball. So
Good for you, Scott. I'm really proud
You don't
of
get that far,
That's
Scott.
but at least my blue balls were nice and cleanly shaven because I use Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0. It's amazing. And you can get your blue balls freshly shaven as well. Just visit their website, manscaped.com. Use the promo code NNF for 20% off. So I use it for two different reasons. One, to just track my accomplishments, but also to, it's a warning. It's a warning system for me to when to stock up on chocolate. And when I mean stock up on chocolate, make sure that Rachel buys chocolate.
Yeah, with her money.
Because I don't go
obviously.
I don't go to the grocery store.
Oh, that
But
too.
also, I like to, so there's two different types of blue hearts. There's the solid blue heart, which means had sex. Then there's the solid blue heart with an outline around it, and it says orgasm. So,
Whoa.
I have.
So are you just telling that for other people's information?
Wait, so do you track your
other people's
orgasm
benefits.
or hers?
No, look. There's no tracking my orgasm.
You would
That's
just
an
do
everyday
outline
thing,
art.
whether we have
So,
sex or not.
Are you still waiting to figure out how to get that outline, or like when does that happen?
There's
for
a
you?
password. It's password protected. I have to Rachel has to put in the password to give me the approval on that. So that hasn't
Right,
happened yet.
yeah,
I don't
still
really know
waiting
how
for
that
it.
part
Got it.
works. Yeah. But look, occasionally it happens. Occasionally.
On her own time, or like, are you home when that happens, or like,
she texts you
does
while
she
you're at
show
work.
you
It's like, hey.
how it happens, or like,
Hey, go ahead and put an outline blue heart in
she
your
like,
app.
yeah, we're just wondering.
So anyway, so I use the
Quick summary. Anyway, back to Manscaped.
Yeah, but I use notes, if it's Costco's or, BJ's or,
Why do you
whatever
use
little notes in there. Okay, hypothetically, if it was happening, I would use notes so I could track those things. You're all looking at me like a psychopath.
Yeah, because you are.
Chris, you don't do that. You don't track this stuff. You don't put like a star on the calendar.
Why do you need to track data? Do you graph this at the end of the year so you can show her what the performance looked like? And you're like, year over year,
Listen.
we're really up. Okay, we're looking good. The margins we are ahead. Okay, and by head I mean ahead. You know what I mean? Like,
we had
what
a real,
are you trying
we had
to
a real
say?
good month. We had quarter two was a lot
Yeah,
better than
that's-
quarter three.
what
What
is
was
this?
going on there? Let's identify what happened in quarter
I'm
three.
wondering right now. Are you
Look,
comparing
I'm a numbers guy.
data? Is there a P&L
I'm a numbers guy.
involved? What is this? Oh God!
There's a there's a PowerPoint
I
presentation,
guarantee
a lot of
it.
Excel,
I bet.
lot
Yeah.
of Excel. Yep.
Jesus Christ. Does anybody else have a normal sex life with their partner? Sarah, you have kids.
So, that's funny because the only reason I pay for the app and actually do keep track of these
It's because
things
she doesn't want more kids.
is no, the opposite.
Oh, you want more kids.
Aw.
So, yeah,
You want some of
I have
mine?
2 stepchildren, so sure, bring them over. But Lewis,
Any type you want. Like,
Well,
really.
don't tell that to Scott.
Oh. He's like, the fedora's already just slid onto his head. We don't know how it happened.
It just fell down from the ceiling like
What?
Iron Man when he assembles his suit. It's just the Crocs come out from underneath the
They go
counter.
into sport mode automatically. You got to chase them down. They're not always willing. No.
The trench coat just it just morphs onto his body. But anyway, Sarah, you were saying something sentimental?
no.
Sarah, that's got to be an exciting time for Lewis that you're trying to conceive.
Well, for both of us, of course.
He
Costco's
just
a
put
great
his
time.
arm up.
But
He's like, yes, I love it every second. And for Scott, it literally is a second.
I have a lot to say about this right now because you're under contract and I can't have you missing time because you're pregnant.
Oh, God. No.
Don't worry, Scott. It's America. She doesn't have much
are
time.
you
to do
you
that.
can't see my stomach.
No, listen.
So
That's content, Scott. I could deliver Sarah's baby.
It's true.
This would be
Oh my
really
gosh.
great content.
Oh, here we
This
go.
is great content.
And Scott's like, I'll be a nurse too. I don't care.
The closest he's
I'll
been to
volunteer.
a vagina in a while.
Listen, I have just as much medical experience as Mary. So
Wow.
Sarah, you're in good hands. You're in good hands. I've watched a couple YouTube
I
videos.
hate you so much.
No,
I'm
you
gonna quit the
don't.
show right now. I just quit. Nice.
It's been a while.
I
Been
know,
a while.
It's been at least 3 episodes since I quit last.
All right, so we've got another phone call this week. And if you'd like to leave us a message, give us a call, 407-906-0543. And we learned this week that you have 3 minutes to make your
Just
message
like
and all
Scott,
that.
3 minutes. That's all you got.
That's 3 phone messages for me.
That's at least.
Okay. So you've got three phone messages in 3 minutes. So, or no, wait, I don't know. what I'm saying.
yeah,
You've got
that's
3 minutes to
fine.
leave us a message. Jesus Christ. On a cracker.
Too much gluten involved.
All right, here is our phone call with, I'm going to now call him the sophisticated gentleman.
You're probably wondering why I'm at an Olive Garden. Truthfully, so am I. It's a beautiful day and I could be spending it at a covered bridge, but instead I'm here. The reason, of course, is simple. As I'm sure you know, Chris recently took on a new job to help with all that money that he lost buying items that he hasn't sold in the last decade. He's now teaching at a school, and 99.99% of the time, I'd applaud him for working such a noble and hardworking profession. Unfortunately, his job is at the Spoon University, and now he's lost even more money than before. As any Italian can tell you, you always have to go to an Italian restaurant to meet with the mob boss to negotiate a deal. So I'm here to try to make some money to help Chris out. That's right, I'm talking with the boss man himself, the Podfather.
You come to see me on my daughter's wedding to make a request of me.
Remy, you don't have a daughter.
What do you ask of me?
I need some money, some more money. Please.
For you? Yes. So as long as it's not for Chris Yob, he's offended to the family to many times.
How has he offended the family?
Let's put it this way. I knew it. That scumbag reselling hoarder has offended the mountain people. He's failed countless times at the birthday game. He's never eaten at Taco China. And worst of all, he's left with his conspiracy corner. No one puts baby in the corner.
What if we made a deal?
An offer he can't refuse?
Something like that. Give me the money for Chris, and in return, I'll make the movie that you've been pushing us to make forever.
Oh, you mean that biopic of Timothy Dexter?
Exactly. Finally, the world will know about how Timothy married a rich woman, bought depreciated Confederate currency after the Civil War, and made a profit thanks to the Union paying 1% of face value.
That's right. Sounds a little bit like Scott there. And don't forget about how Dexter decided to get into government and became Massachusetts informer of deer. Even though there weren't any deer in that state.
Absolutely. I'm sure Game Master Ryan could have used an informer of deer. And of course, we can't forget about how Dexter was told to send bed warmers to tropical areas by rivals trying to bankrupt him, only to make more money by selling them to molasses sellers who used them as ladles. Now that's a real scumbag reselling hoarder.
And don't forget, when he sold coal to a coal-producing city, only for it to happen during a miners' strike. No, not those kids of miners, Scott. Of course, he made money selling gloves, Bibles, and whalebones and ridiculous circumstances as well.
Yes, as he himself was quoted as saying, he truly was the greatest philosopher in the Western world. I'll never get over when he faked his death and became angry at his wife for not crying enough. Or when he told everyone else that his wife had died and was actually a ghost. I think they were just seeing Sarah.
I've heard enough. This movie is a great idea. I can't wait to see it. Do you have any other questions?
Not for you, but I do have one for the NNF squad. Who would win in a rap battle between Paul Newman, Paul McCartney, and Paul Potts?
That
we got like a whole performance.
I already
there.
know.
I might listen to that every
It's-
night before bed.
First of all, the Italian music in the background, lovely. Chef's kiss. Paul Newman, 100%. Have you tasted his salad dressings? He can really toss a salad. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you said salad dressing. I thought you were going a different direction there.
Scott.
Ooh, that was really good. Anytime
was really funny.
we get Remy sound bites, it makes my
Yeah, we got a whole Remy performance there.
One of his best too, might I say.
It was good.
Thank you, sophisticated gentlemen. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. When we come back, we've got a really fun, embarrassing list, if you will. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
There are 3 things that I hate in life: taxes, nausea, and booking vacations. The first 2 I'm stuck with, but for the third, I use Sandpiper Vacations. Sandpiper Vacations is a small business that is LGBTQ+ owned and operated with travel advisors all over the country. Whether it's a cruise, a trip to a theme park, or an all-inclusive resort, Sandpiper has you covered. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's free. Why book a vacation when you can have someone else do it for you? That's like choosing to take the stairs in a building that has an elevator. Leave the headaches of booking a vacation to someone else. Get your quote today at www.sandpipervacations.com and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Psst. Hey, you. You want to join a cult? Well, this might be your lucky day. For just $2 a month and a simple blood oath, you can join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits. In addition to the amazing feeling of donating to the poor, you will have access to Patreon-exclusive content, live shows, and maybe even a behind-the-scenes look at my secret stash. To get started, head on over to nonewfriendspodcast.com and hit Join Our Clubhouse. Can't wait to see you at the initiation ceremony. Oh, and in the chat during our live shows, of course.
If you'd like to hear all of our episodes, all of our past episodes, just visit our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. All of our links to all of our old episodes are there. If you didn't understand an inside joke or just wanted to re-listen to something, just check it out. It's nonewfriendspodcast.com, or you can check us out on all streaming platforms.
Hey, this is Mike and Tom, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Goodbye.
Hey, this is Mike.
And new friend. No.
You say and Tom.
You want to know new friend.
No, you say and Tom.
And Tom. Hey, all right, go. Take 40.
Hey, this is Mike.
And Tom.
And we're with the Gina McReynolds Foundation, and thank you for listening to the God!
I mean, serious.
Hey, this is Mike.
And Tom.
And we're with the Gina McReynolds Foundation, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
And Tom.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. That was a fun first segment. Don't forget to check out No New Friends After Dark, where we get dark, I guess. No, it's pulling back the curtain, peeling back the curtain, not just on the show, but on life. We take a mostly serious or mostly funny look, mostly serious look. I don't know. Things get serious, things get funny.
It's seriously funny.
It's seriously funny, but also funniestly serious. Last week we tackled mental illness, which was a really good conversation.
I wish
Then
we tackled it, Scott. I'm still dealing with it.
Oh, okay. We also we had part 2 of the Jeremy Miller episode, which was amazing. And then, of course, we have Nick from Sandpiper Vacation on. So things get a little gay, and we love that because we say gay.
Wait, what?
Scott.
Yes.
Need to talk about this for a second.
Okay.
Our anonymous caller is a Patreon member, and if you want to know who it is, you're gonna have to join our Patreon, because on the Discord he just posted that phone call was in fact outside of Olive Garden. And a little backstory, he said behind the scenes of that phone call, the closest Olive Garden is like a half hour away from me, and the only time Remy and I could coordinate was at 10 p.m. So I was in front of this place in a shady field super late at night.
I love it.
It's dedication.
The dedication.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You know what, Scott? You should send them a $50 Outback gift card.
I think I will do
3 years
that. I
from
think
now.
I will do that. Sophisticated gentlemen, send me your address and I will send you an Outback Steakhouse gift card. So Ryan, Game Master Ryan is going to be in town this week, and I've got to remember to have that gift card on me to give him.
In
Give it
town,
to him.
like
Yes.
in Florida?
Orlando.
Why
Yes.
didn't I know about this?
I don't know.
Wow.
So something happened to me today
he just
that
skips
I
over
wanted.
it like I don't live here, too. It's fine.
I forget that sometimes. I haven't seen you in like a year.
Ryan says, I didn't know you cared.
Aw. I mean, I do sometimes.
Aw.
It depends. Like, you just have to check in. But right now, I do.
So today, like I work in a very large resort, and sometimes we take golf carts to different locations.
Is it because
We've
the
got two
resort's
golf
large
carts.
or because you're lazy? Or is it because you're large?
Both, all three. Thrice? All three. I don't know. So we have to take a golf cart. We've got two golf carts in our area. Okay, one has a working blinker. One comes with no blinker. I refuse to take the one with no blinker because I am embarrassed to do the hand signals when you're turning. Like I refuse to do them because it's just embarrassing to me.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. And so that made me start thinking, like, what other things are we embarrassed to do that we shouldn't be embarrassed? Like, okay, when I proposed to Rachel, that was a super embarrassing moment because it's like,
was it embarrassing, or was it just like, yeah, that was just like emotional? I feel like like you just felt anxious. So I think sometimes we confuse anxiety with embarrassment. So I have made a list because I don't know the difference between anxiety and embarrassment.
Mary has a top 10 list.
I wish I only had 10.
So Mary's gonna give us her list, and we'll kind of go around the room if you guys have anything that you
and see if we're all in the same.
We can round robin it. We can round robin it.
Okay, guys. So I think we can all.
So Mary, what things are you embarrassed to do that you shouldn't be embarrassed to do?
So one of them, and this is a pretty natural thing. So you know when you try on clothes somewhere, and then you come out, and maybe you don't like some of them, or they don't fit, and they're like, "How'd everything turn out?" I lie. I say everything was great, and I'll just put stuff back. I will never tell somebody that I didn't like it or it didn't fit. It'll never happen because that's too embarrassing.
That's anxiety. That's your
No
anxiety.
way.
That's not embarrassing. That's anxiety.
Not telling you.
I do the
That is
same
your
thing.
anxiety.
Yeah, not going to happen.
Wait, you do too?
Not going to happen.
absolutely.
I'll just put it back. I'm not going to tell you it didn't work out. Absolutely not.
Why do they ask? Why are they asking you? Like, what do they want you to say? Like, they want to say, no, I've gained a lot of weight this past year. Like, I'm going to start being brutally
I'm
honest
shaped
with
like
these
a
people.
12-year-old boy. None of this fits, ma'am. Okay.
Well, would you like our Power Ranger section then?
Wow, I would actually. Thank you. Go Power Rangers. I am a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Okay, so this one. So I also, when we talked about this, Scott sent us a text and was like, "Hey, this is a thing. What do you guys think?" And immediately I asked my teenage daughter and her friends what they think. We all came to one conclusion: watching any type of sex scene with your parent or with your child is immediately embarrassing. It shouldn't be, but it is. I feel embarrassed.
100%.
Either way.
100%.
It doesn't matter which way. If it's with my child or with my parent, I feel embarrassed.
Mary, it goes further than that for me. If I'm watching a movie with Rachel and there's some boobs on the screen, I immediately get embarrassed. I can't.
Yeah,
I'm like, I start looking somewhere else, and then she's like, "Babe, look at her tits," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." I get like no,
thank you.
Absolutely. Like you choke me when you say that.
I have to pee.
No, thank you. Yeah, that's a bad one. Okay, maybe Sarah may be the only one who understands this. If I want to eat a banana or have a popsicle in public, cannot do that. That shouldn't be embarrassing, but it is. Got to rip that shit in half.
Sarah, can you eat a popsicle in public?
Rip it right in half.
No, I can't. Yeah, I have to like break it into pieces.
The popsicle?
I do.
Oh, all of it. Yeah, you can't. You can't just suck on it.
Oh,
No, not gonna happen.
Do you like cut the popsicle with a knife? Like,
I
how
make
does
it
this
worse.
work?
I bite into it and I chew it, and that freaks people out.
Yeah, just bite it, and I make direct eye contact sometimes. If I need to, just to establish dominance. Another one is anytime somebody sings happy birthday to you, why are we embarrassed about that? But it feels so embarrassing. I don't know what to do with myself. You know?
Right.
You do the whole orchestra hands.
Like, yep, I love it. Yeah. Oh, Chris, I'm glad you brought that up. That is a thing. We're like, yep. And then you're like, oh, what? Why? Which brings me to my next point. Anytime the doctor is like, open your mouth and say, "aw," and I'm like, ooh, why? Like, why are you doing this? That's embarrassing. That should not be embarrassing, but it is. Anyways, moving on.
You ever had a prostate exam, Mary?
Twice last summer. Thank you for asking, Chris. It was the worst time of my life.
Wait, do women have prostates?
Yes. 3 of them.
Okay.
That's like free real estate. Prostate. No?
Scott's Googling it right now.
I know he is.
It's like, this is my chance.
So, have you ever been to someone's house for like a birthday party or something? Sarah, I'm sure you have, like for your kids. Maybe Scott, for you, I don't know, but you probably already know where people's floor plans are in their bathrooms and stuff because you know that. And they're like, hey, you have to go pee. And you're like, hey, I have to pee, and you don't know where the bathroom is. Asking someone where the bathroom is very embarrassing to me. That is not something I want to do.
I'm with you. I don't like to say the word bathroom. I don't say bathroom. I say restroom.
So what I say,
where's your restroom?
You know what I say? If I were a bathroom, where would I live?
Oh, I do that too. I do that too. If I was this, where would I be?
If I were a bathroom, where would I live? And they're usually like, haha, you're so witty. Over here, do you have to I'm like, maybe. Probably.
Can I piggyback off of that?
Absolutely.
So when you use the bathroom and you're in there for too long, people think that you pooped.
But it's just because you have stage fright sometimes.
Yeah.
Or you're looking in their medicine cabinet. I don't know.
Yes.
Just me?
No, you're not. You're not, because you have FOMO and raging anxiety. So you're in and out quick. Like you don't want to miss anything. I've never seen someone pee as quick as you.
Who, me? Yeah.
I've also never seen you pee.
That's
but
true.
I've never been around someone who pees as quickly as you do.
Wait, Mary, before we get off this topic, I did want to dive into this a little bit. There was a time, so I have major stage fright, and that's why I use stalls. And because I can't pee at urinals. And we've talked about this.
I don't know why they expect men to do that. Why do they expect you guys to whip your junk out in front of other dudes?
No, listen, I'm okay if there's partitions.
The partitions, yes.
Partitions,
no, but like, have you ever been
at
the places where there's like basins where you just like pee into like a basin thing? Like
I'm in the stall. Nope.
But then using the stall, and then they know that you're peeing in a stall because it's loud. So it's like, oh man, this is demoralizing as well. I
just sit down. Sit down. Who cares?
Oh, like you don't sit down every time. Come on.
I do sit down every time. I'm too lazy to stand and pee.
So there was this one time where I was 2 hours away from my house. And I was with my family when I was younger, and I went to go to the bathroom. There's a huge line at the stalls. So I went and used the urinal. I was standing at the urinal for 60 seconds and just could not pee because of stage fright. So I just had to pretend that I peed, and I had to go so bad for the next 2 hours because I didn't want to tell my parents that I didn't go because it'd be so embarrassing. Like, what were you doing in the bathroom? So yeah, using public bathrums terrify me, and it's something I'm embarrassed about, and it shouldn't be. Because, it's a human function.
Tough.
Yeah.
And we've kind of talked about this before. I don't have stage fright peeing anywhere except for a pool. Like that, I have a little bit of stage fright there. But why is that funny?
Why is that a thing for you? Why would you have stage fright peeing at a pool?
No,
because
in a pool.
Then you have to, in a pool. Like I don't stand and pee in the pool. It's like if you're in the pool,
you shouldn't be. Like I don't want to have to in their pool.
You've urinated in a pool before?
All the time. What's wrong with this?
Are you serious?
What?
Yes, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's a lot.
That's why it's chlorinated.
That. No,
that's why it's chlorinated.
Are you serious? It's fine.
Yes, I'm serious.
No, it's not.
Fine.
It's not.
But I don't want to get out and have to dry off and then go inside and all that.
Wait,
Kids
this is
pee in
interesting.
pools all the time. That's literally why it's chlorinated.
Really?
It's for the urine.
No, it's not.
Yes,
that's not why it's chlorinated, Scott.
Why is it chlorinated then?
Why
is there disinfectant in the water?
Because it's outside. Have you ever just left water outside to see what it does?
Well, it like ferments and grows bugs
So
and
if you
stuff.
chlorine in it. It takes longer, right, for those things to happen, those processes.
And it kills the
You're
urine.
not supposed to pee in a pool, Scott. You're the reason why people don't like to swim places. Well, above just
don't
peeing
drink
in it, but you're
okay.
that
But
adds
people
to the
go.
reasons.
Hold on. Do you go to the beach?
Never.
I pee in the ocean.
There are
Different.
animals peeing and pooping in the ocean
That
all the
is
time. What's the
different.
difference?
That is an ocean. It's not a pool, my dude.
Okay, so we'll call the pool an ocean, and we'll call the ocean.
Why would we call it that?
The ocean is the Earth's pool.
It's
like
it's
what is the difference?
Because I know what to expect at the ocean. That's why I don't go in the ocean.
Okay, well, expect if you're going to go into a pool that I've been in, I've peed in it. Okay, now there's no.
Wonderful.
Now
So
you have the
just,
expectation.
You golden shower,
and then it's there.
Everyone is basically what you're saying. You
no,
golden
the chlorine
ponded
kills
us.
it. Do you see the gold liquid floating around? No, it's all crystal clear blue.
Is this a fetish
I
for you,
don't know.
Scott?
I think it is.
No, it's laziness. I don't want to get out of the pool and
well, if
get,
anybody was
dried off
lazy, we
and
wouldn't
stuff.
guess it was you. All right.
When I start to see Scott
quickly.
just silently smiling in the corner of the pool, I know it's because he
and
just
you're like,
knows
why
that
is
these
it
people are
warmer
swimming
a
through his
little
No,
here?
I start doing laps so it doesn't just pool in one
Oh
place in
my
case
God.
in case I'm dehydrated and it's really dark.
Before we leave this topic, Scott, are you ever afraid that they have that blue dye in the pool that like makes
a little bit? So that's why. So here's the thing: if it's like a resort pool, I won't do it. But like my sister's house, she gets so mad at me.
I'm gonna buy her a bunch of just blue dye. I'm gonna do it.
That's fine.
just so
They'll
we can
know.
see
I mean,
it. They already
they're gonna
know.
it's
They're like,
me.
why is the
the
pool like 5 degrees warmer when Scott is here? It's so wild.
Yeah.
The worst thing for them is they're going to see that everybody else is doing it too.
So I do have a couple other honorable mentions while we're here. I asked Zoe and her little friends just to add in. And they were like, anytime you have to call anybody for anything. And I would have to agree. Doctors,
Yes,
anything.
yeah.
If you have to call them, that's embarrassing.
I end up stumbling over my words.
Every
It's
time.
all yeah, and then like it takes me forever to get the statement out.
Yeah.
and that just jacks up the bill.
Makes it worse. Yeah.
for the 1-900 number that I call.
The 900 number, I think is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, that's what I said. The 1-900.
Yeah. Anytime someone honks at me, or if I think maybe I should honk at them, that's embarrassing. Even if it's not me doing something wrong.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Yep.
I don't like it
And
at all.
speaking of cars, I get embarrassed when we go to like a drive-through, like McDonald's, Taco Bell, or whatever, and not everybody in my car is ready to order.
Oh my God,
I
that's
cannot
the worst.
stand not being ready to order at the window.
That's
so
the worst.
frustrating.
If they're like, and I'm like, Grayson, what do you want? And they're like, butterflies. And you're like, just 1 second. Like, I don't want. What do you want to order? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, these
Like,
are kids we're talking about. It drives me. It embarrasses me when adults are like, "Well,
Oh, that too.
I don't know."
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's-
"What?"
Yeah, that's.
Chris, what do you find embarrassing that you shouldn't be embarrassed of?
Oh, number one, pooping in public. I hide
Why
every
would
poop
you
with a
do that?
flush.
But I'm with
only
you.
when you
I'm
only
with you.
only in
That's-
only in emergency situations,
At
like,
that point-
I'm with you
dire
on that.
emergencies.
Yeah, I'm going to the side of the road.
But I'm flushing every time, like for like 10 minutes straight. I'm flushing the toilet so no one can hear anything.
You just keep an automatic flush.
That's
on.
that's how you do it. Yeah,
That's how
every
you
time you have
know.
to go, you flush. Yeah, that's really my number one is just public restrooms. I'm not joking when I say that I have stress dreams about going to the bathroom. I had a stress dream last night of pooping.
A sex dream?
No, I
Stress.
wish.
Yeah, sex dream
I-
about
stress-
pooping
I
in
have-
public. Yeah.
Stress.
I had a stress dream the other night that I accidentally peed on my friend. I don't know how it happened.
Oh.
It just like I was trying to hit the toilet and then it squirted out onto my friend. And I had to say that I spit on him. I had a stress dream last night that I pooped in my neighbor's driveway.
Why?
I
so
have no
many
idea.
questions,
I have no
Chris.
idea. So
Why?
I had a dream that and then the worst part about it was that she came home from walking her dog and I was there trying to clean it up. And I was like, oh my gosh, somebody just shit on your driveway. I'm just trying
I'm here
to
to
clean it
help.
up. And then I look up and there's a Ring doorbell. I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
my
no.
gosh, she saw you. She saw you do it, and
Yes.
wow.
So then Chris started running up a tree naked and then running from police. He goes, "Look, there's a dead body. I found a dead body."
Okay, first of all, you don't need to bring my past into Scott. God.
I have horrible stress dreams. And most of my nightmares are me having to use the bathroom in high school. Like I'm in a high school classroom again,
Yeah.
and I have to use the bathroom, and then the stalls don't have doors on them or locks. And listen, I wish this was satire. I wish I was making this up for like comedic purposes. This is 100% true. And I have never in the past few years, I've never had
everything we say on this
wasn't-
podcast is 100% true. What are you talking about?
But I wish this was even exaggerated. But every nightmare I've had for the past few years has been revolved around using a bathroom in public, and that's not an exaggeration.
Wow.
Yeah, which is it's kind of a good thing. Like I don't have like death nightmares. I just have like needing to poop in public nightmares.
Yeah, that's good. I guess I've had some wild nightmares that have nothing to do with pooping in public, mostly because I just don't do it. I could have a full, I could be groundhogging it, and I won't do it in public. I have to go home. Not going to happen in a public space.
Prairie dogging, not groundhog. Prairie dogging.
Prairie dogging. Groundhogging, that was better. It's got to be the right conditions.
I did that yesterday. I was fishing and there was a porta potty. I was like, I really need to use the restroom. So instead of using the restroom, I drank a half a bottle of Pepto-Bismol. Did the trick. It did the trick.
That actually should do nothing for you.
I was talking to Emily's stepdad, and I reached in my backpack, and I just started drinking out of the bottle. He goes, "Are you drinking Pepto-Bismol?"
You're like, yeah.
I said, I sure am.
It's fine. You know what?
Do you see that porta potty over there? Absolutely not.
It could be a full, am I not turtly enough for the turtle club type of situation? And I will be like, I'm just going to wait until I get home. This is not, I'm not going to do that to my fellow man. I care about mankind. Okay.
When I was little, I used to go weekends without going to the bathroom. Like if you went on a weekend trip down, on a vacation, I used to go weekends.
Stopped up.
Pooping.
You just stopped eating halfway through the trip because you were just...
Probably the reason I have a lot of health problems.
No, okay, look, my sister may hate me for this, but I'm going to call her out for this. My sister will do the same thing. She'll go on a week-long cruise and not poop the entire time. Eat the whole buffet the entire time. She can't do it. And so I can in the comfort of my own cabin. In my own room, I will blow the doors off of that, and that's fine. At home,
well, girls don't poop.
Yeah.
That's
I don't poop. I blow doors off. Okay, there's a difference.
You blow what?
Doors off. Look, we all have our it's fine.
Scott's like, hello, my name is Doors.
I may never recover from this.
Sarah, do you have anything that you're embarrassed to do? And you anything that you're embarrassed to do that you shouldn't be embarrassed about?
There's probably a long list that I can't think of right now, but after this conversation, I'm trying to figure out if I'm just embarrassed or I really just have bad anxiety.
Okay, let me. You know what? I'm gonna redirect the conversation. How long was it before you pooped in front of your significant other?
What do you mean in front?
Not in front.
How long
watching?
Have we been
Like in the same
know
room?
that you poop. You know what I mean? Instead of being like, I'm going to turn the shower on. I'm just taking a shower.
There's no announcement
you know
made.
I mean?
It just
well, I know.
Years.
The smell.
Really?
Years. I still don't. Emily's been away for a few days. I've never pooped more in my life.
All right.
Finally, after 3 months.
Speaking of poop, are you guys ready to play Jersey Man, Florida Man?
He's like, I lost 15 pounds.
Wait, I do want to bring up before we go on to Jersey Man, Florida Man. This has helped my embarrassment of going to the bathroom in public because of Scott. I was at Scott's house and he had this thing called poopery, now I go with a travel size poopery in my fanny pack everywhere I go.
I bet you do. Sarah, how long did it take for you to fart in front of Lewis?
We've been together almost 5 years.
Have you?
So not nope.
Not at all.
Never.
Yeah, Rachel's
never
farted
I have
in
no
front of me.
intention of it either.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. The other day,
Rachel's
Mike
never farted
Grady
in front of me.
literally came into the room when we were talking, and he was like, I tried to hold it, and it just ripped out of his ass. Like, he just farted in front of me, and I was like, wow.
Oh, I will lift a leg and aim it in her direction. Like, what are we talking about here?
Well,
Surprised you don't have sex often.
We'll make that Step Brothers joke, and I'm like, is that onions? What is that? Like, what? And, obviously I have digestive issues, so he's got to be used to that stuff. Guys, I fart and I poop.
No.
I do it a lot.
Okay. You're no longer a unicorn. All right, you guys ready to play Jersey?
I want to be a narwhal.
All right, you guys ready to play Jersey Man, Florida Man?
Yes.
Whether flipping a fan boat or crashing a truck, these states are filled with people who suck. So it's time for us to play New Jersey Man versus Florida Man.
Every week, Ryan brings us 2 news stories. One is from Jersey, one is from Florida. It is up to us to figure out which one is which.
Step right up, step right up. Hey guys, this is Ryan coming to you from the No New Friends newsroom located this week at my new job at a carnival. The job at the grocery store is a little too boring for me, so I got a job here guessing people's heights, weights, and occupations. I've really leaned into the carny life, knocked out a couple teeth, grew a mullet, stopped tightening up bolts, stopped wearing shirts with sleeves, and really started doing a lot of illegal drugs. Anyways, let's get to work. How about you, ma'am? Let me guess your occupation. Judging by the looks of you, I'd say you're some kind of street botanist, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, you work for a restaurant? Well, I guess you won a prize. And boy, do I have a prize for you. It's a Jewish raptor. How do I know it's Jewish? Well, look at the size of the nose on that thing, and you tell me it's not Jewish. Go ahead and take it. Just don't feed it after midnight and don't let it get wet. And maybe don't keep it near an open flame. How about you there, sir? Let me guess your weight. Yeah, you with the moose knuckle jeans. Take off that Hawaiian shirt and let me take a look at you. Sweet, fancy Moses. You got the body shape of a tube of hamburger. The same fat content, too. I'll tell you what, why don't you go down here and talk to my friend Carl here at the Freak Show? We may have a job for you. Hey, how about you, little guy? Let me guess your height. Yeah, you, the one that looks like he turned in a bunch of cans to afford that shirt. Jesus Christ, how'd you get smaller as you got closer? You look like you could only use the child urinals. I'll tell you what, why don't you follow that guy I just sent down there that looks like a melted ice cream cone and talk to Carl. You might make a good bearded lady, if you want to call that a beard. While I go on break and try to find some fried Oreos, let's get into this week's Florida Man or Jersey Man. And in our first story, 3 people are injured as a bouncy house goes flying away from a carnival. And in our second story, a ride operator is hospitalized after being stuck between 2 panels of a ride for 20 minutes.
Oh my God. All right. Chris, what do you think?
I'm going to guess ride operator is New Jersey, actually, because I think he's trying to throw us through a loop. Because there's a lot of theme parks in Florida, but there's some pretty not so legal ones up here in New Jersey. So I'm going to guess that one, New Jersey.
All right, Mary?
I think that the first one is Jersey. I think the kid being stuck between the ride, or the guy being stuck between the ride for 20 minutes is Florida, because people are high in Florida. They're doing all kinds of fentanyl, meth. They don't know. They don't know what time is. Sure, they're fine. Yeah.
All right. Sarah, how about you?
I think stuck between the rides is Jersey. I don't know. I'm totally stumped this week. So
they
I'm just
sound
gonna
so
wing
similar, right?
Yeah, they do. Well, they're both carnival themed. So I'm going to say man stuck in the ride is Florida because our carnies are real dumb. And then I think the bounce house is Jersey because, you know, it's cold and then the hot air rises. Yes, Chris.
I do need to say this message that was sent in the Discord by the original narrator of this segment, Ryan. He said, "Trust me, Chris, I don't think I'm able to throw you through a loop anymore."
Because you're fat. All right, let's find out the answers.
So our first story is from New Jersey, where 3 people are injured after a bouncy house takes flight due to heavy winds. It's too bad Chris wasn't in that bouncy house. There's no way that thing would have gotten airborne with his heavy ass in it. So that means our second story is from Florida, where a 28-year-old ride operator is hospitalized after being stuck between 2 panels of a platform at a Florida fair. The one time they remember to tighten up all the bolts on one of them, they get trapped in it. And in other news, a remote town in Japan has a vending machine that's now selling bear meat. Nick heard the word bear and meat and immediately booked a flight to Japan. That's it for me this week, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, if you don't get that reference, you're going to have to listen to After Dark in the episode We Say Gay. It was all about bears, and that was fantastic. That was great. All right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. When we come back, Chris is living the bachelor life this week.
Picture St. Augustine, Florida, 2022. You're on the Night Watchman Ghost Tour with all of your ghoul friends. The air grows colder, you turn the corner, and there she is, Ghost Mary. Okay, you probably won't run into Ghost Mary. You may see a ghost named Mary. I'm not really 100% sure, but the tour guides for the Night Watchman Ghost Tour from See America Tours do know it is the only 4D ghost tour in St. Augustine. So if you have ever wondered what a ghost smells like, well, now is your chance. And right now they have a scary good deal going on. Enter the promo code NNF as in no new friends and receive 25% off your Night Watchman Ghost Tour. So visit them at seeamericatours.net. That is SEE americatours.net. Okay, bye.
Hey, everybody. Why don't you give the old Black Lincoln Collective podcast a listen? We're funny, we're fat, and we're here 24/7 at blcpodcast.com. Anytime you want to listen, anywhere, all your favorite podcast apps. Of course, we have a YouTube channel where you can stream live with the show. Check out our shorts. We're funnier the less you hear of us. That's been a Black Lincoln Collective podcast at blcpodcast.com.
Hey there, Scott here. You all know I like to spend time wandering the neighborhood on my big wheels or hanging out at the park with my fedora and my Bud Light. So I don't have time to clean my own house. That's why I've been using I Believe services for the past 6-7 years, and they're the best in commercial and residential cleaning. They're also doing carpet shampooing at such a reasonable price. Just check them out. That's ibelieveservices.us. Give them a call, 407-928-4595, and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Hi, this is Jeremy Miller from Growing Pains, and you're watching the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. Don't forget, check out No New Friends After Dark, where we do a deep dive of peeling back the curtain, if you will, pulling back the curtain of our episode and just life in general. Now, I know that what Chris is about to talk about, we're going to talk about it a little bit here, and then we're going to continue the conversation on After Dark. So, Chris, you are living the bachelor life right now. What is going on over there?
Yeah, so I was actually talking to Scott about this on the phone earlier, and he told me we have to hang up because I this is too good. We have to talk about it on the podcast.
Mary, how many times when it was just you and me did I do that?
He's like, no,
I was like, no, we
tell
can't
me.
talk
You
about
can't
this
tell me.
anymore.
And I'm like, Scott, I'm trying to tell you something that really happened in my life. And he's like, no, hashtag content. I don't care what you have going on. We can capitalize on this.
So,
no, I don't care about your life.
Emily is currently on vacation visiting her brother, sister-in-law, and our two nephews down in Florida right now. I could not go because contrary to popular belief, I do have a job and I do have to be it sucks because everybody has spring break the week before Easter except for one school, so I still have drivers on the road, so I had to stay home. So anyway, for the last, it feels like forever, but for the last 2 days, I have been, I guess it's 2.5 now, I have been living the single parent life, actually, because I do have a dog that I finally remembered to feed today.
Nice.
Emily left on Monday. Yeah. She lost, listen, she needed to lose some weight. So, yeah, so she had a nice meal today.
Like father, like dog.
Wow. That's,
Runs on it's genetic, all right? It's genetic, Scott.
Listen, if you think it's bad here, check out After Dark and listen to Scott's summaries at the end. Because, ooh.
Listen, the worst part about Emily not being here, I think, is the
blisters on your hand?
The will to live. No, the blisters on my hand is the dishes.
He uses enough lotion, Scott. He knows better.
It's the it's the dishes and the food. Oh. So it's like I'll eat a couple meals and then all the dishes are there. And we take turns doing dishes. And listen, I'm waiting because it's her turn to do dishes. I'm not going to do them.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait for her to do them, right? Last night, and so between the dishes and it's her turn to cook dinner too. So last night, I'd eat cereal with a fucking butter knife.
Wow.
Because there's no clean utensils.
Yeah.
And there's no dinners. It took me 3 hours, Scott, to eat dinner last night. Have I lost weight since she's been gone because I haven't eaten anything? No. No, I've eaten pizza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner today. I just ordered one large pizza and just ate it all day long
one
today.
large pizza. You sit on a throne of lies, and you broke the throne.
I ordered 2 large pizzas.
Three.
Yeah, you broke the throne.
Mary, here's the thing though. I'm talking to Chris, and all I hear is just crashing in the background. I'm like, Chris, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, I'm doing dishes. And I'm like, well, I'm on the phone. He's like, well, it was Emily's goddamn night to do the dishes, and she's not here.
He's like, and I don't know what to do on a.
You want to hear this? You want to hear his big brain energy? You want to hear his 4D chess move I did? So what I did was,
did you pull a Scott and
4D
just call
chess.
somebody to do it for you?
Listen to this, kind of. So Emily left on Monday morning, right? Tuesday, Wednesday. Today is Wednesday night we're recording. My parents left, because listen, I live in an apartment attached to my parents' house. My parents left for vacation.
Sounds like a real grown-up thing to do.
My dog just, because listen, I'm a single dad right now. My dog just coughed, and she licks her paw, she gets his hairballs. Now I'm on call for her. So I'm distracted, man. I'm a worried parent right now. So my parents left for vacation this morning. So what did I do? Emily, like I said, and this is not no bull. This is Emily's turn to do the dishes right now, and she didn't get a chance to do them before she left. So was I going to do them on my own when she's gone? Well, I'm going to tell her that when she gets home. When she listens to this, she'll finally realize that I didn't. But I have a good week to get flowers or whatever.
It won't matter.
So what I did was I waited till my parents to leave because they have a dishwasher. We don't have a dishwasher in our apartment. They have a dishwasher. I carried all our dishes over to their side, and Scott's like, "What the hell is that noise?" I mean, I'm like, I look like a waiter, like that just served the table of. It's cleaning up the table of like our busboy. Sorry, let me use the correct terminology.
The busboy of the bridge ladies after they split their checks. Got
exactly. So there's like a party of 12. And I took all those dishes over that side. Don't know how to use a dishwasher. I just, kind of poured that powder stuff in, shut it up, shut the door, and pressed wash on extra strong. Because why would you do it any other way?
Yeah.
He did ask me. He goes, Scott, is there a wrong way to load a dishwasher? And I'm like, yes, whichever way your wife doesn't want you to do it, that's the wrong way. And he's like, no, it's not my dishwasher. Like, can I overdose? Can it overdose on detergent?
I was worried about the detergent to dish ratio, and Scott said no need. And then there's all these options on the dishwashers. I don't use a dishwasher. It's my second time ever using a dishwasher. So there's all these options. Why would you do it on anything but strong? Like, why would you do like soft?
Wait till we teach him how to pump his own gas. We're gonna blow his mind.
Regular, my dude.
So
every time.
So I actually don't have a gas car, Scott. That's like, I know that one day New Jersey will stray away from gas pumps. So instead of learning how to pump gas, I bought an electric car. I'm in crippling debt, but I'll never have to pump gas, Scott. So there's that. The great part about her being gone, besides the crippling depression of being alone, is leaving all the lights and the pantry doors open. Like, because I just go in and get a mug, and I leave the door open for the next day when I get a coffee. I just don't even have to open the door. She hates that stuff. She I don't know why, but I just love leaving doors open. Do you do that too, Scott?
I did, but Rachel used to make fun of me for leaving the cabinet door open. So now, it's a thing where I close it. I make sure. Sometimes.
Yeah, no. And then when I close it, it's too loud. Like, it's too hard of a slam. So I just leave them open. And listen, I'm leaving the doors open. The bathroom, everything's a mess. Everything is horrible. Like everything is in disarray right now.
He's like Pigpen. There's like fruit flies flying all around him as he's walking through.
I had to look up how to give a dog IV because she was so malnourished from me not feeding her the past 3 days. No, my dog's good, but she's having, of course.
Mary, was that the reason why your hermit crabs died? Mike Reedy left town. They starved to death.
Just so
I wish it was
PETA
just
doesn't.
that.
just so PETA doesn't attack me, I did feed my dog. But the kicker is, of course, my dog decides to have diarrhea 2 days before Emily leaves. So she's on this bland diet. So I got to cook her like rice. I don't cook her rice. I literally use the rice that Emily cooked so that I wouldn't have to cook the rice. I give her rice.
He goes
pumpkin.
to Taco Bell. Can I get a pinto beans and rice, no beans, please?
Emily leaves you this detailed list of how much to give her, and the first morning she was gone, I followed the directions. Like, an 1/8 cup of chicken, a 4th cup of rice, and then I was like, you know what? I got enough Italian in me. I'm like 4% Italian. I can eyeball this. So I just eyeballed everything from now on. And my dog's been loving it. She like, every time she sees me, she's just licking her lips and running to the kitchen. Scott would love it here.
Oh my God.
Did you load a ton of adobo in the bland rice?
Oh, she's eating good, Scott. It's sazon. You put the sazon in the rice, not the adobo.
Oh my God.
So I've been so listen, there's no food here, so I've been eating my dog's bland diet food. So now I have to figure out what the hell to feed her tomorrow.
You should have some
I've
of
been
those
eating unseasoned chicken.
Some of those cookies that Scott has on his countertop. Those are delicious.
I've been eating unseasoned chicken and white rice for a day and a half now. I feel like Sarah's my wife.
But is it baked?
Oh no, Mary! Oh.
That's not how I took it either.
Also, she's Jewish.
Wow, Mary! What is wrong with you?
How long do you have?
It's
Because
tough.
I feel like you could bill me by the hour at this point. I don't know.
I'm not saying it's hard, but it has been tough for me.
It hasn't been hard.
My dog woke me up at
Emily's not around.
My dog woke me up at 7:30 this morning, and I called myself in sick. I didn't go to work today. I was like, how am I going to survive? So I'm not even kidding. I got up at 7:30. I'm like, how am I going to finish the rest of today? I went back to sleep. I watched a bit of a movie, and then I went back to sleep till like I think I woke up at 1 in the afternoon, and so I skipped lunch because I'm like, the less meals, the better. So I've been eating fast food the last 3 days. And to be completely honest with you, that's usually my normal routine. But it is a great excuse when she's not around to order out. So I've been using that to my advantage these last couple of days. She's coming home tomorrow. Her flight is due in at 11:45. So I'm going to hold off dinner until she gets home because I can't do it anymore. I don't know. Today was the last serving of the bland diet, and I have no more chicken. There's nothing left. The last time I was in charge to make my dog a bland diet, I gave her ground beef and she got sicker. I am not fit. She says, Emily goes, well, what was the blend of fat in the ground beef? I was like, you're speaking another language. We have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea. But Bailey loves it. She loves it.
Bailey loves
the
it.
The vet bill was not so great. Yeah.
Don't forget to hear more of Chris's Bachelor life story on NNF After Dark this coming up Wednesday. Chris, you got any cliff notes?
I do.
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day the Chris's Cliff's Notes way.
So I actually want to start off this cliff notes a little differently this week. I actually have some somber news. Don't know why I laughed when I said that. Breaking news, actually. This just happened today. This is Wednesday, April 24th. It is not the 24th. It's the 12th.
April 12th.
It's 9/24, though. April 12th, yes. So this happened today. There was an explosion. I don't know if you guys knew this, but there was an explosion followed by a fire at a dairy farm in Texas, killing 20,000 cows. But I am happy to report to our listeners that Scott is safe. Scott is in fact safe. He was not injured in the explosion.
How dare you joke
That's
about
actually
the
because
death
he's
of
an
cows.
uncultured swine, not a cow, not a bovine. That's a swine, different.
And other breaking news actually happened today, too. A town in Japan was told to evacuate because of a missile launched in North Korea. An hour later, they realized that it wasn't realistic, and they were just like, never mind. Reminds me of when Rachel promises Scott sex and he gets all excited. And it's, never mind.
Dangle the sex carrot.
I'm going to cancel that. It's not realistic. Scott talks a lot about how he manscapes his tool. Now it's just as clean as all the rest of the tools in his house that he never touches. Scott also told us that he tracks his sex life and makes graphs and with it. It's kind of sad looking. I'm not going to lie. Scott actually did send me these graphs. I thought it was Mary's cryptocurrency investments. It was just like...
Oh, wow. I didn't actually invest anything. I just managed other people's investments. Wow.
Which were also flatlined as well. I was like, yeah, hey,
I think it's really cute that you thought it was flat. Concave, my dude.
Scott actually has a really creative way to track his orgasms as well. He doesn't use an app. He's old school. He just rolls over and counts the crusty socks on his side of the bedroom. 1, 2, 3.
Aw, he can't count that
4.
high. I love that you think he can. The limit does not exist.
Next, we talked about things we are embarrassed by. I forgot to mention being a host of the No New Friends podcast. That's up there.
Wow.
It's up there too. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
And lastly, Ryan brought up Gremlins in his Jersey Man versus Florida Man, and it got me thinking, Scott, you'd make the perfect gremlin because no one would ever have to worry about you getting wet after midnight.
Wow.
And those are my cliff notes.
Beautiful.
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day the Chris's Cliff's Notes way.
Thank you, Chris. And listen, I get plenty wet at midnight when I don't make it to the bathroom in time. I have to get up 3 times a night.
One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation. Right at the start of everything that's new. One little spark.
Hey, it's Alex from Diz His. You know me, you know Joe, you definitely know Chris, and you know Jen. Well, we're the hosts of Diz His, the Disney History Podcast. Every week we take one Disney subject and go over the history, as well as our insight on the subject. We talk about other Disney topics, as well as what's new in the news. You can find us on all podcast platforms, or go to our website, dizhiz.com. That's DIZHIZ.com. And we're on all social media at DizHiz65.
Chris, what do you got coming up on Diz His this week?
Well, before we get into what we did on Disney this week, let's take it back, years ago. I don't feel like doing math, so it was just a few decades ago. 1989, to be more specific. On February 22nd, 1989, the 101st Congress passed the Hate Crimes Act, and it reintroduced, in the House of U.S. Representatives. It was introduced to the 99th and 100th Congresses. It would require the Department of Justice to collect and publish data about crimes motivated by hatred based on religion, race, ethnicity, and sexual orientation. On June 27, 1989, the House passed the Hate Crime Statistics Act by a 368 to 47 vote. Why am I talking about this, Scott?
I don't know, but I think you're going to tell us.
Oh, well, it's because if you don't book your vacation with Nick from Sandpiper Vacations, you are in fact guilty of a hate crime. Based off of the act, the Hate Crime Statistic Act of 1989, if you do not book a vacation,
Chris, you weren't even born there then. Like, you don't, what?
And guess what?
I love that you did your research.
I do my research.
I love that.
I'm an ally. I do my research. And if you don't book it with Nick from Sandpiper Vacations, you are a hate crimer. Do you want to be listen, do you want to be a perpetrator of a hate crime? You're trying to go out, you're trying to go to Mexico, you're trying to drink some tequila. You're trying to go to Jamaica. You're trying to smoke some reefer. You're trying to go to... That was marketed towards Sarah. You're trying to go to Disney. You're trying to have a nice trip in Disney. You're trying to cruise. You want people coming up and saying like, wow, I didn't know you hated gay people. I did not know that you violated the act of 1989, the Hate Crime Statistics Act. So it really comes down to, do you want to have a really good time, carefree, stress-free time of vacation? Or do you want to go on vacation knowing that you could be arrested at any second? Guns drawn, SWAT team kicking in your cruise room door and saying, you, sir, are a perpetrator of a hate crime, and just go to jail? It's really that easy, Scott. Do you want to go to jail or you want to have a good vacation? Personally, I want to have a good vacation. So how do I prevent not wanting to go to jail? I'm going to book my vacation through Sandpiper Vacations. I'm going to tell him the No New Friends podcast sent me. And how am I going to go there? Am I going to go to his house? Am I going to give him a call? I'm going to go to sandpipervacations.com, fill out a free quote. And like I said, I'm going to tell him that the No New Friends podcast sent me. I'm going to tell him that I hate crime. # I hate crime. Book with Sandpiper Vacations.
Yeah. Or you can move to Florida. You can avoid hate crimes there.
Yeah, no hate crimes in Florida. I tell you what, the act was...
Florida is a hate crime.
The act was passed 368 to 47. 45 of those votes were representatives from Florida, actually.
Of course.
That's a guess, but probably an accurate one. Anyway, Totally inaccurate because the Senate actually passed the Hate Crime Statistics Act in 1990, signed into law
we have
by
to start all
George
over
H.W.
again.
Bush.
Oh.
Scott, I'm going to take it back.
Wow.
I'm going to take it back to 1990. No, I'm kidding. All right. So this week on Diz His, is this the one that you're on? I'm so confused.
Yes, it is the one that I'm on.
You're on it. This week on Diz His, we do Cosmic Rays, Starlight Cafe with Sunny Eclipse. Yeah, really fun history because no other than Scott Maffei from the No New Friends podcast is on it. I'm not going to lie. I walked away from this episode when we recorded it earlier today, pulling back the curtain. Yeah. And it was a fun episode. Like, I walked away from that thinking, like, this was a good episode.
Well, you're welcome.
It was because Scott barely talked, and usually when he comes on, he talks and talks and talks. He just barely talks, so it was like, wow, this one was actually a better episode. I'm totally kidding. No, I'm totally. No, you added a lot to the episode, Scott. Seriously, like you actually knew about the topic, because we were supposed to do something else, but we never saw something else, so we did this one, and it was really good. I really enjoyed the episode.
To be fair, I love that place.
It's a good
Delicious
place. What were you saying, Scott? Before I cut you off.
First of all, that place is just like any other quick service anywhere. It's generic food. Second of all,
but I love it.
You know what's funny is I as many times as I've done Diz His, and as well as I know you all, I still get intimidated every time I go on that show.
It's a big show.
I don't know what it is.
It's a big show. It's got a pretty big audience, and if you're not an audience member, then go. Never mind. Well, you can tune into Diz His.
I'm not.
When does
Sarah, are you?
Big fan.
She sits on a throne of lies. Look at her.
It is a fun episode. If you want to hear Scott, we do make a lot of No New Friends references on the episode. So it's basically
in fact,
it's essentially a Disney episode of the No New Friends podcast. It's me, you, and Alex. And Alex is, Alex's hands are all over this podcast. It was seriously though. It was a fun episode. Please tune in, please, because I haven't gotten paid yet, and I'm hoping that with a couple more viewers, I'll start to get paid.
You can always check out Diz His on all social media. DizHis65. That's dizhis.com. And they release new episodes every Tuesday morning. We've got a bunch of other great podcasts to tell you about very quickly. The Black Lincoln Collective podcast. Also, Chuck Flange hosts From Ashes to Awesome, which is all about addiction and rising out of the ashes into recovery. Then also, Don't Wreck Yourself, where Ryan wrecks things that are wrecking the internet. They bring up topics that are wrecking the internets, and they debunk them and all that. Mary, what you got?
I would say a mental health moment.
Oh, he's on
Dr.
hiatus.
Edward Smayer, but he's on a little bit of a hiatus because he's working on something very huge as far as like paper and stuff. Some research things that are happening. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But he's on about a 12-week hiatus from that. But you should still be able to keep up with all the fun stuff on his website, dredwardsmaro.com, I think, something like that. That sounds right. If you'd like to book an appointment, I think he's on like WebMD and things like that.
Let's try to stay away from there, but I will go there for your dad.
Yeah.
Chris, what podcast do you recommend?
I don't know. This one for sure. So I recommend Studio 21, the baseball podcast. I'm a Phillies fan. They'll be back. They'll be okay. If you follow baseball, they'll be okay.
Yeah.
I also recommend the Podfather himself, Remy from Remmy's Roundtable. You heard him on tonight's episode as the Podfather, reprising his role as the Podfather. It's a Florida theme park podcast. You hear everything with Florida. You hear everything. Theme parks, you hear everything, birthday game. Then lastly, we have Big Beautiful Diz, which is actually a YouTube channel. It's Dane, young guy aspiring to become the next big YouTuber. And I think he will be. He's got a great not podcast. He's got a great YouTube channel all about theme parks again. Mostly Disney. Every once in a while you get a Universal. And when I say that, I mean on April Fool's Day. So it's Disney stuff.
Sarah, what does Lewis have coming up?
He's got MegaCon, where my lovely,
fun.
Yes, my sister-in-law went to MegaCon.
I've been called a MegaCon.
And, spent the whole weekend there. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So she got a lot done there and saw a lot of cool stuff. Met Hayden Christensen. So you'll get to. Oh yeah.
Were you jealous?
Look, you told me.
Absolutely.
Not for Hayden Christensen. For that she met him because I know she's your boo thing.
Yeah, are you more jealous of Hayden Christensen
Yeah.
for meeting her?
Well, now that you bring it up, I'm very conflicted.
She doesn't know.
Listen, I walked into her living room, okay, and here this like 8x10 framed picture of her and Hayden Christensen. I had to stop and take a picture of it to show to Lewis and be like, listen, do you see what's happening here? This is ridiculous. They talk all about that, so you'll get to hear that on the Nerd Archive podcast.
Awesome. And you can follow Sarah on Instagram. That's Old Soul Thrift. Chris is the scumbag reselling hoarder, and Mary is the queen of quandary. You can follow us on all of our social media, nonewfriendspodcast.com. All of our links are there. Don't forget to check out After Dark every Wednesday night about 9 o'clock-ish. And join our Patreon so you can watch us as we record all of these things live. We always stream segment 1 on Twitch on Wednesday nights, but you can watch the rest of it live. Just join our Patreon. Check out our sweet merch. On behalf of The Sophisticated Gentleman, Alex, our producer, Game Master Ryan, The Podfather Remy, Sarah, Chris, Mary, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.